I'm not cooking special. I am just gonna make food. If someone says they don't like lentils, this is the recipe. Hope you guys are hungry, okay? Yum, okay, these are ready. Hello and welcome to the Wellness for Life series. Today we are going to be making a heart-healthy meal of lentil soup with roasted kabocha squash. It's going to be delicious, so get excited. The first thing I'm going to do is turn on the heat to medium to low heat because we're going to be sauteing our garlic and onions. Now I chose this recipe because it is February, Valentine's Day, Heart Month, so I'm thinking kind of heart healthy. And lentils are usually one of those foods that is on the top 10 most healthy foods in terms of your heart. So lots of fiber, lots of vitamins, minerals, nutrients, all those things. So we've got a giant garlic clove. I'm just gonna smash and peel. You wanna make a few incisions down the top, and then one incision through the middle, and then mince. Ooh, there's a big chunk in there. Someone's gonna be really happy, or not, I don't know. All right, and then we've got our onion. So beautiful red onion, you can use red or yellow, it doesn't matter at all. What you wanna do is take off the top, and then peel it, and then cut it in half, and you will have this. So when you've got your half, put your hand solidly on the onion and make incisions 1, 2, 3, 4. And then a few down the top, because the recipe says to dice, right? So this is gonna give you a really nice, even dice. How's our heat? All right, great. That's the first part of our mirepoix. It's kind of the triple threat of French cuisine. Other cuisines have their own version of mirepoix, but the French version, which is what we're using today, celery, carrots, onions. Oh, this is really good. Okay. So we want to get our celery and our carrot in. So for the carrot, I have already peeled this one. You want to just cut off the end. And whenever you're working with something round, you want to first create a flat surface, just like we did with our onion. You slice it down the middle. So you got this. You slice it again. And you got really nice pieces that aren't too big. You kind of want everything to be uniform or else you're gonna get a big chunk of something. And this is a delicate soup. It's a ladylike soup. Just move those in. And then we've got our celery. Take off the ends, slice down the middle, and then again, just chop. The great thing about this soup is that it's one of those things that you can really just throw together because lentils cook up in 30 minutes. So if you already had these things pre-chopped, you could throw it together in a half an hour. Now we got our salt, a very fine granulated sea salt. All right, this is coming up really nicely. And I'm just gonna put the lid on it just for a second to keep that steam in and help this cook a little bit faster. So then the next thing I wanna do is talk to you a little bit about these lentils. What I did, and you can see here, they're kind of big. And the reason why they're big is because I soaked them overnight. I generally do soak them, one, because they cook faster, but then two, supposedly when you soak a bean, especially a lentil, it helps aid digestion when you give them time to kind of soak and plump up. So these are a little extra big because they have been plumped. And it's not anything, woo, facial. Okay, I'm actually getting a nice caramelization on the onions and on the other vegetables because you want to create a layer of flavor first. That's why we don't just throw everything into a pot and boil it, right? You want to kind of get things all tasting really good. So I'm going to take our lentils. And now I'm turning it up to high because we want to bring it to a boil. Nice. reduce it to a simmer, and then let it cook for about 15 to 20 minutes. The next step on your recipe is to roast the kabocha squash. Let me first say that this is not actually necessary. This is a special little treat. It adds a depth of flavor, but if you wanted to, you could just cut up the kabocha and throw it in with your lentils and cook it all together that way. And what you want to do is cut it in half, and then the center is full of seeds, just like a pumpkin. You just scoop it out, and then you peel it. And when you peel it, you're then left with this. So what you want to do, as you cut into quarters, is make half moons. And then as it gets kind of more wobbly, just flip it over and make beautiful. So then from here, you can just cube it. So then you would throw these together with salt, pepper, olive oil into an oven at 415. Roast it for 20, well actually I think it's like more like 30 or 40 minutes, but at the 20-minute mark, you want to mix them all up. So the next thing we want to do is our greens. Now you can use any greens that you want with this. I am using a rainbow chard, which I love. Look at these colors, just beautiful. It's not even orange, it's like, what color is this? Salmon. Salmon, just kidding. Okay, so what you want to do is, if it has a big stalk, split the stalk down the middle. So we're going to split the stalk down the middle, and then we're going to layer them, and then we're going to roll them. So I'll show you how that's going to work. So as we've layered, now we're going to chop the ends, because the ends are going to go into the soup as well. All right, so now we've got our big pile of greens. We're going to roll them. Now, as we roll and then chop, we are chiffonading. Is everyone chiffonade? Look at this. This is beautiful. It's like a rainbow. All right. And then you've got these beautiful, thin greens, right? Really nice. And at the very, very end, you want to go one giant chop down the middle. Okay? And it's coming up to a boil. Oh, beautiful. Now, as you look at your recipe, you'll see that this is a very simple dish. The main ingredients are, some aromatics, some lentils, some squash, and then most of the seasoning is just coming from salt and olive oil. And you'll see on your recipe that it says 7 tablespoons of olive oil, and you may think that that's a lot, but it's actually not, especially for a soup like this, where the main flavor is coming from that rich oliviness. So don't skimp on it. Oh, you guys. Oh, this is getting good. The greens are in. I'm putting in the kabocha. This is very attractive. Oh my gosh, you guys! At this point, I'm just like loopy. Okay, you want to use enough salt, and you want to remember that beans absorb a lot of salt without giving off a lot of salty flavor. So don't get worried, right? This is a lot of soup. And the olive oil just makes an amazing broth. And then we top it with our beautiful green parsley, which just gives it a nice little punch. And then you're set. So we'll take a little taste. Heck yeah. That is really good. That is a seriously delicious, heart-healthy dish that you can make. I know I said 20 minutes, probably 40. But it's really good. It is really, really good. So I hope that you try this at home. We'll see you next time. I loved how I was like, ooh, we'll just make a really quick soup. 7 hours later. Thank you, greens. I have issues. I got food issues. You also just don't want like soupy, weirdo greens. That's a technical term.